Welcome back to AFTV. It's Wednesday night. It's time for some Carabao Cup action. Arsenal travel to West Ham in what is listen, as far as Carabao Cup fourth round ties go, West Ham way is a pretty tricky one. So it's interesting to see what Arteta will go with in his starting 11. Last night, Sessa and I spoke to you all on FANZONE about whether Declan Rice should be included, the pros, the cons of all that. Mikel Arteta said he could be in contention, but there also is a slightly disappointing update on the Gabriel Jesus injury front. We're going to cover all that with Turkish, Lucy and Charlene. Welcome everyone. And Robbie's meant to be here. Where is he, Charlene?
I'm not sure. He must be caught up in traffic.
Well, yeah, fair enough.
So I'm here on the sofa by myself, as it stands.
Robbie should be joining us soon, as we look ahead to the big game. The big game. Is it a big game? Is anyone sitting here feeling the normal nerves and tension and excitement they feel going into a Premier League game? I know this question gets kind of hashed over and over again, but it is a new game, Charlene.
Of course. Listen, this game is important. I'm going out there for a win. I know the fan base is a bit undecided as to whether this game means anything. For me personally, it does mean a lot. You know, we can potentially get silverware. So we're going out there to get a win. So I'm excited. In terms of the opposition, it's another Premier League team who's sitting mid-table in 9th place. But yeah, don't underestimate anyone, but I'm feeling confident that we will get a win today.
Fair enough. Lucy, sharing the same confidence or even importance towards this game?
More the confidence, I'd say. I feel like it's good to play them before we play them in the Prem, so we know a bit about them. Obviously, like you mentioned before, seeing Rice, I really want to see him play. And it'll be interesting to see how the fans react, because this is the first game that he's potentially back. Whereas by Christmas, when we play them Boxing Day, that won't be as deep then.
Well, that's interesting. Do you think he'll get booed by the West Ham fans if he's back?
I reckon he will. Well, you saw the first game; they were already making chants about how they've got now Ward-Prowse, like they've already replaced him and everything like that. So I was like, if they can hate him now, like back then, they definitely could now.
I don't know, Tex. What do you think? You know, Declan. I imagine you're a West Ham fan.
Firstly, I don't want to see Declan Rice play today. That's first and foremost.
Wait, why? What's your
I just don't want to, because I could. At this rate, I envision come February, March, us all talking about should we be resting Declan Rice then. Because at this rate, if we want him to play every week in the Carabao, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup moving forward, he's going to be burnt out regardless of if he's a machine or not. So I think this will be one to keep him away from, because people know what I think about the League Cup, but I've never really said that I used to like the League Cup for what it was during the early Wenger years, because it used to give you a fan a chance to see the fringe players, some of the young players who you might not know much about, a chance for them to stake a claim in the match they scored on the weekend. That is what I like about it. That's why I want a lot of changes today. But Declan Rice and West Ham, is there hard feelings? Probably. It's another London club. It's not Chelsea, it's not Tottenham, but it's still another London club. There is, somewhat a rivalry there. So there'll be definitely some hard feelings, but there'll be a lot of fans that would have appreciated, especially the way he went out with them getting success in Europe, and a lot of them fans won't forget that. Yeah,
I was talking on my podcast about this, like should they boo him? And my answer might surprise you. I think they should boo him. And here's why.
Oh, okay.
West Ham fans are there for one thing and one thing only: to watch their team win a game of football and support them. Now, I'm not saying abuse him and hate him. Before the match, applaud him, whatever. After the match, applaud him, thank him. I don't think any West Ham fan should have any ill feeling about him going to Arsenal at all. I don't get this weird rivalry that's kind of grown over summer just because we signed Declan Rice and West Ham fans questioning his ambition and wanting to go to Arsenal over City. For me, that's all a load of rubbish. You can totally understand why a player would want to join Arsenal. But during the 90 minutes, boo him. Why not? You're trying to unsettle a player who's one of our best players, and you're trying to watch your team win a game of football. So I have no problem with them getting onto him if they want to. I just hope that it's kept to the 90 in the spirit of fandom in football matches. After, you've got to respect the guy. He lifted your first trophy in however long. First European trophy, I don't want to say ever in case I get that wrong. Was it their first ever European trophy? I'm not sure.
I think it might have been.
And anyway, he was a massive part of a huge moment. And they should love him for that still, no matter where he went. But, during the 90, make it hell for him.
I agree.
Fair enough.
100%. I think by them booing him, that might just edge him on a bit more to work even
work
better. It will
He
work
seems
in
that
our
kind of
favour.
player. I remember when we played Palace away, second game of the season. He was great in that. A lot better than he was in his debut against Forest, where he was still good. And they asked him on Sky, you played very well today, how did you find it? He said, I don't know, I got here and I just fancied it. And he's the kind of person that will see Selhurst under the lights and go, it's a big one, I'm up for it. Like, I almost think you're going to get a better performance out of him there than you're going to get 3 o'clock kickoff against, bottom of the table. Funnily enough, that's what we just had, Sheffield United, where he was fine. He did the business. So I'm very interested to see if Arteta uses him. We'll go back to that debate in a little second as to whether he should or shouldn't play, because you said you don't want him. Cecil's kind of along that. I'm happy for him to play. Let's explore that set. There's just a chat going on in the comment section. By the way, 3,000 of you live. Hit the like button, subscribe to AFTV if you haven't yet. There's a comment from William Saliba who says, hello guys, I'm William Saliba. This is a great moment for the channel. People in there are going, laughing, saying William Saliba. And then Devin says, bro, you're about to play. What are you doing on AFTV? William Saliba replies, I'm not starting today. Kivy or Tomiyasu are playing. Joe replies, Tomiyasu has to. To which Next Gen Racing goes, nah, William Saliba, that's an L for you.
Let's just do this the whole show, just read through all of that. We don't need to be here.
And I'm just William Saliba. Saka starting, by the way, and Odegaard with Nwaneri, says William Saliba. Listen, thanks for the exclusives, mate. If you want to write for the AFTV website, by the way.
No, remember these, because if it does come out in the lineup stat, then you've got someone there.
Can I just say, if Nwaneri starts and it is Tomiyasu giving your sense back, I'm coming back to these.
Yeah, you have to.
We actually had
everyone
big Willow Saliba in the comment section, which would be mad. Now let's welcome guest making his debut on the channel.
Saliba.
Introduce yourself.
My name's William Saliba. I am not playing tonight. You know what I mean? Thought I'd come on AFTV instead. So, bonjour.
Bonjour.
You look very different, William, today.
Huh?
You look very different.
I'm better looking, isn't I?
Exactly.
Hey, Charlie.
It's better than Cecil's French.
Saliba shouldn't play tonight, but I think he might play tonight because... Sorry, I don't think he'll play tonight. I think Gabriel will play tonight. And I think that's why he was left out on Saturday, because he's sort of rotating them two. Yeah. So I think Gabriel will play with Kivior tonight. But I wouldn't mind seeing quite a lot of changes today, because to me, the bigger game is Saturday.
Have you got an eye on that? No matter what, you are looking ahead to that.
Listen, man, I wouldn't play Declan Rice tonight.
Right, so let's get on to that. We were discussing that. When you say don't play, are you saying have him on the bench if we need him for 30? Are you saying don't put him in the squad, not worth risking? Are you happy with him playing an hour? If he starts, will you be angry at Arteta? Like, where are you in this kind of level of lack of involvement from him?
Yeah, you could have him on the bench. But I look on it and I think the more important of the two games for me personally, and I remember last time when it was a Carabao Cup game.
You said the opposite.
No, I didn't.
With Saka?
Huh?
With Saka?
Saka.
Was it Saka?
Not in the Carabao Cup, no.
Oh yeah, it wasn't that.
It was in the... It was
Man City
it was like Premier League games, Champions League games. I'm like, if Saka's fit, he plays. Simple as. But the one competition where I do feel I'm not stressed when I see players rest is the Carabao Cup. Now, I remember the last time I was on, when there was a Carabao Cup game on, I was in a lot of arguments with people because they said I'm belittling. I'm not belittling it, but for me, I look at tonight, much as I'd like to win the Carabao Cup, and I look at Saturday, away at Newcastle, I think Saturday is more important. I don't know what you guys think, 100%. But that's just me. You feel that as well?
100%. I don't even know why people say don't belittle the cup, like the cup's got feelings. Like everything's protected in this day and age.
But me and Laurie were arguing about this yesterday because I said that I would make a lot of changes for tonight. And he's like, no, we haven't won a trophy. We've never won this. Well, we haven't won this trophy for a very long time. Go strong. But I'm like, well, what if you play Declan Rice tonight, he gets injured, man? Then you got no Declan Rice or Partey for Saturday away at Newcastle. Nah.
Yeah, here's what I'm trying to get at though is, if you ask me right now what my 11 would be, Rice isn't in it. Because I think we should have enough, and I am also thinking ahead to Saturday. But if Arteta does start Declan Rice, I can't be mad at him, because for me, that is showing an ambition to win a trophy we haven't won in my lifetime.
Silverware.
It's taking silverware seriously. And I'll go, you know what? It might be a little irresponsible, but for me it's not like, and I'm not opening this debate again, it's not like playing Saka when he's come off the 2 games before injured. For me this is like, all right, if you want to take West Ham away when City and Tottenham have already been knocked out of the cup and there's a chance to get to a quarter final, if you want to take that seriously, I can back that, I can get behind it. But likewise, if he doesn't play, I'll understand that too. Like, this isn't one of those, whatever's announced in 17 minutes time when the 11 comes up, unless he's literally fielded the under-19s, which for me would be throwing it away, I'm not really going to be that annoyed with whatever he does. I mean,
Declan Rice is a key position, isn't it? Because the guys that are going to come in for him, there's a big drop-off. Because it's not Partey who's going to be coming in for him. It'd probably be either Elneny or Jorginho that'll be coming in. So there's a big drop-off. And I personally do feel that West Ham will go strong. Because they're at home.
I think they will too.
They're coming off the back of a couple of bad results as well, so they won't want to make it be 3 in a row. Their fans are gonna, you know what I mean? The dynamics always changes. If we would have been at home, we would have probably played a slightly stronger team because we're at home. But because we're away, I don't know, I just got the feeling, we can see Declan Rice walking into West Ham there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Saying hello to all the
Saying hello to some of West Ham staff.
And that's nice. Arteta said he speaks so highly of the club and what they did for him.
So going on the back end of what you've just said, Robbie, wouldn't it be worth to start Declan even if he just plays like 60 minutes or something? Or do you think that's too much of a risk?
I wouldn't play him. Saturday. For me.
But surely,
Saturday.
if we're thinking that the Prem's more important, looking to the future to our first game against West Ham in the Prem, surely we want to get the nerves out of the way for Rice, get him used to playing against his former club now. Do you think? Or are you're looking to the future but more just this month?
I'm looking at Declan Rice can handle that pressure.
Yeah.
We've seen that already with him. I just want to see. I don't want Declan Rice. I wouldn't play Declan Rice. I wouldn't play Saka, although I think he might play Saka tonight, but I wouldn't play Saka. I wouldn't play Martinelli.
No, or Saliba.
No.
I wouldn't play Saliba. Ramsdale's got if Ramsdale don't start tonight,
He's done.
He's done. That is it.
if I'm Ramsdale and my name's not on that clean sheet, team sheet, I'm kicking down his door.
Arteta's going to bring Almunia out of retirement.
So
he's in the cup, mate.
I'd go Ramsdale. The other thing as well is I'm thinking right back, left back, who's going to, because again, I don't really want to play Tomiyasu. I want to keep him for Saturday as well. I feel Tomiyasu will start on, I think Zinchenko will start tonight, I feel, with Tomiyasu starting against Newcastle. But do we really want to be playing Ben White in this as well?
Cedric. Calm.
Cedric
hasn't played in
See, that's
how long?
So there you go. So there's a limit to how much you weaken the team.
Yeah, that drop's big, man.
It
changes, yeah.
is what it is. That drop's probably less big or less as big as some other positions.
I think you go Ben White to start with, and then maybe if it's going all right, you bring Cedric on later.
Listen, it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna find out, like we said, in the next 14 minutes or so.
Do you start Eddie?
Yes, 100%. After that hat trick.
You need to save him for Newcastle.
Yeah, but
he doesn't have to play the full night.
Even if he gets 60 minutes or something in the tank, like Eddie needs to start.
He needs that
consistency.
consistency.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's on, whilst his confidence is up.
High,
Yeah.
exactly.
You know? I can't believe it.
Yeah, but
You of all people.
now I'm
Who would you pick?
Havertz.
Through the middle.
No,
To be fair, he's better there, isn't he? Than in the midfield. Well, better.
You could
He's
say
still
that.
not.
I don't know how I put it.
Yet to try, but
Not amazing, but
He's less
still, you
shit
know,
there,
because-
probably
Yeah,
one, the way I put it.
It's a shout still maybe to play Havertz and see what you can do.
Trossard,
I felt Eddie, I want to
Havertz,
see Eddie.
Nelson. Trossard, Havertz,
Yeah, Nelson.
Nelson
for sure.
100% has to
I like
start.
that.
I think there's a chance he goes stronger than we think. But let's wait and see.
He always does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he decided to surprise us. King Gunner of the Super Chat says, let's face it, Rice won't be given the same reception we gave Van Persie. They should applaud Rice. He left through the front door. Thoughts on this?
He'll get a good reception from
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, it won't be a Van
They
Persie
loved him at
thing.
West Ham.
That was different.
You cannot leave a club in a better way than what he left, right?
Exactly.
He won them their first trophy they've ever won
Yeah.
for decades, right? He wasn't disrespectful to them. They got a massive fee from which they were able to buy about four good signings. Ward-Prowse, Kudos, all these people. Yeah. There should be no hate from any West Ham fan for Declan Rice. There should be beer love. And I think he'll get a good reception. I've seen Arsenal players that have left on good vibes come back and get good reception.
But do you not think, I was saying for
even Theo Walcott last year when he came back, Southampton, got a good reception.
Don't you think though, for 90 minutes, well, if he plays, however long he plays, Rice, they might applaud him when he comes on, but I could see them giving it to him, and I'd understand because they're trying to unsettle him, aren't they?
Yeah, but as long as they applaud him
before and after,
I think they will. Yeah, I mean, he done a lot for that club.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It's when people leave and they say a lot. That, but no one can have any.
And he could have left years ago and he stayed.
Yeah, that's right. Remember, he extended. He could have left a long time.
Well, there's a bit of a game of chess going on here as well, because with West Ham's, I say game of chess, terrible analogy, but with West Ham's 11 as well coming out, we kind of forget they've got Europa League football they're playing as well. They probably won't have quite the depth we have, while they have a very decent squad. They're also going to be thinking, we've just had European action. Last week didn't go well. Maybe the players need a little bit of a rest. Deep down, they're probably thinking, we can win the Carabao Cup, but will we win it? We've got more European football to play next week. They might also be thinking this isn't worth going full strength for, loose. I don't know. Do you think they'll have an eye on other games?
I think, on the priority, we've all kind of agreed that this is lower down. But for a club like them playing Arsenal at this stage in the competition, I think, like you said before, they're going to go out with their best squad.
You think they'll go full strength?
I think they will, because there's nothing to lose. Like, they might as well do it now and try and get further on, because I don't know how well they do in the other competitions, in the Prem even, so they might as well go for it now.
Their upcoming games, they've got obviously Arsenal tonight, Brentford on Saturday, that's away from home, tricky game. Olympiacos are home next week Thursday, tricky game, and then they're home to Forest, and listen, that's no gimme either. So
not much travelling though. Even
that's very true. Yeah, that's actually it's all staying in London. That's a good point.
I think they'll go not full strength, but I think they will go fairly strong. I guess the only thing I would say about this competition is, for instance, whoever wins tonight's in the quarterfinals already, after playing only 2 games during the quarters.
Yeah, that's mad.
And then win. Say you go through tonight and get a home draw, you could get like. Is it Mansfield still left in it, or
Mansfield exit?
Middlesbrough. You could get a home draw against Middlesbrough, win that, and you're in the semis.
Just like that.
I mean, on a 2-legged.
Yeah.
And City are out already.
That's why I want to take it.
Is it Liverpool? Liverpool are out?
No, they got
Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool. Right, so it is a competition that is winnable. Yeah. But I guess.
If we win it,
it's just that away.
West Ham can say the same thing though.
The away. If you clock United last year when they won it, every single game they played was at home. That easy ride through to the final, really. That their first really tough game, first game that you looked on paper and said, I don't expect United. I can't say whether they're going to win it or not. Was the final when they played against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Right, but every other game they had like Forest away, Forest at home. Was it Villa at home? They had like
Charlton,
Charlton at home, and then for those 4 games are in the final.
So Robbie and Turkish, this is a genuine question. If we're in that final, we win it that day at Wembley. Like, would you guys? Well, I don't mean enjoy it. Like, we won, I'm happy. Like, would you guys be legitimately really happy with that? Will that feel like a milestone in the season for you guys?
It's like a starter. So you're happy with a starter, but your main course is to come. Am I lying? I'm lying. You like a bit of calamari or something along those lines, but you want the.
But if your starter is Butte and then the main comes out a bit cold.
But that's finishing second. If you finish first, the main bangs.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, would you leave the restaurant going, that starter though was really good? Or are you thinking, nah?
No, I'd be like, that steak was cooked to perfection.
Okay.
What about the pudding with that?
Listen, the pudding would be the maybe the FA Cup on top of it all, but the Carabao Cup for Arsenal is not a priority, but for West Ham it is. Moyes just won in Europe. If West Ham can pick up a Carabao Cup this season, it'll be great for them. Whereas for us, our priorities are very different to West Ham, so I expect them to go strong. And same way, we're looking at City and Tottenham being out as a chance for us to really go for it. West Ham are probably thinking the same. If they beat us, that's 3 of the big 6 out. Maybe 1 or 2 more if fixtures go one way or another. Because
one of
Newcastle
United and Newcastle have to go out. Liverpool away at Bournemouth. There's no saying that they don't rotate and accidentally fall out of the comp. Like, yeah. Anyway, let's talk about this. An exclusive from Jordan Davis. Gabriel Jesus' camp are targeting an Arsenal return to fitness for the beginning of December. This news came out about 3 hours ago. There is a sense that great care needs to be taken with Jesus heading into a busy festive period, and no risks will be taken, with Arsenal desperate to have him fit and firing for another lengthy title charge. I mean, we can only hope he stays fit and ready. But another injury, this is his third since being at Arsenal. Okay, it sounds like a shorter term one. But I also thought that, we were talking, about 2 weeks maybe here. That's what Arteta said, a few weeks. Now it's looking more like December, we're hearing. There is an international break in the middle of that, so we've got to take that into account. But it's getting a bit concerning. What do we do with the balance of Nketiah, Trossard and Havertz going into this game as well, Charlene? No, they've kind of all got to fight for a place that Jesus has vacated for a month.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is a bit concerning, but in my opinion, I do like Jesus, but he's not scoring the goals that I have expecting him to be scoring. Havertz, he's yet to sort of really prove that he can be a goal scorer for us. Eddie, when he steps up, he scores goals. I think January transfer window, we may need to look at other options as well, just because of, Jesus' injury issues, as well as these lack of, being clinical in front of goal as well.
The games he'd miss, Robbie. So obviously he misses tonight, West Ham away. Very, very unlikely, if we're hearing that news, that he'd make Newcastle away, though there were some rumours online that he might be available for that. Sevilla at home, Burnley at home, Brentford away, Lens at home. So if he's to make a bat for the start of December, those are the games he would miss.
It's frustrating, very frustrating. Listen, I'd rather than they rush him back and get injured again. It's a busy December, busy Christmas period. You want him back fit and firing. But it's frustrating, when you look at it. You got to, we don't maybe give the team enough credit to see that, we're still unbeaten this season in the Premier League, right? Because we've had a lot of injury, man, and some of these injuries have been to key players. He's been out. Remember, this isn't the first time he's out this season. He was out with that reoccurring knee problem at the start of the season, right? Just comes back on fire against Sevilla, out again. It's very frustrating. Partey came on, nice little 15-minute cameo against City. We're all thinking to ourselves, yeah, man, now we're going to see Rice, Partey. Now he's out. Probably the same. He probably won't be back until December as well. Right? So it's very, very frustrating. Remember, Martinelli was out for a while. He's only just returned. Saka's been out. We've had injuries to a lot of very key players. And I have to say, that's the one thing I have to say, the squad has improved a lot because we've kind of weathered those injuries. But it is very frustrating. Partey's starting to give me Diaby settings, man. Serious, the amount of times he's injured. I know it's not his fault. I was reading what Arteta was saying, that how frustrated he is and that, but it's just always out. He's always injured, and we're yet to see really that team, the strongest team start with him, Partey in it, and Jesus.
Yeah, Turkish. Does it only strengthen your feeling that whoever is the 9 for Newcastle on the weekend shouldn't play tonight, because Jesus doesn't look like he's going to be back anytime soon, and we've got Champions League games to negotiate before his potential return?
Probably, yeah. I'm saying leave Eddie out today because he's just come off the back of a hat-trick. That's not to say Eddie's guaranteed to go St James Park and replicate anywhere near that sort of performance, but because he scored a hat-trick, I think, you've got to protect him a little bit. Otherwise, we're left with Havertz. And again, Havertz might be
as well.
right. Trossard as well, but it doesn't seem like Arteta's really going for that this season. He doesn't seem to entertain it much. It's either Havertz or Eddie if it's not Jesus. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but that just seems to be the comments there. Probably because they're more long-term options for Mikel than Trossard is. So I'd say leave Eddie out. Not that Eddie, has been injury-prone in the past, but he hasn't really got consistent game time in the past for us to really know. But I think after back a hat-trick, he has to start the next Premier League game. So why not just, I'm not saying he needs a rest. I'm just saying for our best possible lineup on Saturday,
I do find that really interesting, because if he lines up with Trossard in the false 9 on the weekend, will you be disappointed with that?
No.
No.
Like, I'm not being fooled by Eddie's hat-trick.
Fine.
Big up to him, and it was a
Yeah.
sick hat-trick for sure,
Yeah.
but I'm not fooled by it. I need to, it's
coming
not
in.
about hate.
There were 3 good goals taken.
There were 3 good goals.
Wicked goals.
They was.
Three wicked. You was
third
sitting
one
there.
especially.
You was sitting there. He's thinking, how can I criticise
I
that?
asked him.
First one, bang up. First one, wicked control thing. Second
Third
goal.
one.
Actually,
Second goal, arrowed into the top corner. Third goal, banger. Boy, I can't even say it was free tapping. What am I going to say to Robbie and them?
But these are actually hating on me, because I was the first one here live right now to say they were 3 good goals. Great. Well,
And
why are you
you
saying-
said you start him in Newcastle to the point where
Why are you
wouldn't
saying
even
they're not
go
being
into
fooled then? Well, that makes it sound like it's
Because
to be fair,
because
it
James
makes
said,
like a joke thing, you know what I
James
mean?
said if Trossard starts up top, am I going to be upset? No, because Trossard's the better player. Trossard's better than Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah, but I'm saying, why are you saying you wouldn't be fooled? Why can't Eddie start down the middle, Trossard play on the left?
No,
If
that
that
can.
was-
No, but what James is asking is if Arteta does go with Trossard instead of Eddie, how would I feel about that? Because Eddie just had the hat-trick and I think he deserves to start the Newcastle game. I wouldn't feel any way because Trossard's
I
a
wouldn't
better
feel
player.
any way as well because Trossard's a very good player
Yeah.
as well. But it's the way you said it. It's the way you said
Yeah,
it.
I'm not
You
fooled by
said
it.
it. Oh yeah, I'm not being fooled.
Because many people...
So not being fooled suggests, right, that hat trick was just on. That wasn't a proper thing. That was just like a
Bit of luck.
Yeah, luck.
No,
Like he ain't
I
never gonna do
you
nothing
can't
like that
replicate
again.
that against Newcastle, so I get that. Like, that's unlikely that's going to happen.
It's unlikely, yeah.
So
Yeah, listen, it's unlikely
I do
that
kinda
anyone's
get
going
that,
to
I
score
get that.
2 hat tricks unless it's Haaland. Not many people scored 2 hat tricks in a row, but who's to say he couldn't go out there and score a goal?
No,
Well,
But the
100%
way
he
you
could.
said it,
No, because a lot of people are being fooled by the hat-trick.
We're going to find out any minute now what the 11 is.
Fooled by what?
Fooled as in thinking we don't need an upgrade in the striking department, Rob.
No, people are not saying that. Because
I've heard that many times.
Charlene just said a minute. Charlene like said it, and she just said a minute ago that maybe in January we look at like if Ivan Toney was available, yes, we go and get him, but give the man his flowers, man. He stepped in.
I want him to start the game.
stepped in.
What else do you want to go
No,
knock
but
on
I've
his
Got
door?
the 11.
Oh, I actually can't
Shut
even
everyone
guess
up.
what it's going to be.
By the
Go on,
way,
James.
52% of people said that Rice should play. Interesting. Cool.
Who's in goal, man? Because
Innit? Who is it
goal.
go? Is it Ramsdale?
David. No, it's not. Lee was sweating somewhere. It is Aaron Ramsdale.
Okay.
Now, credit to you, Robbie,
Said
because
it.
you were right on your centre-back theory. The back four, White, Kivior, Gabriel, Zinchenko. So he's brought Gabriel back in for Saliba, moved Kivior along. Jorginho, Havertz, Vieira, Nelson, Trossard, and Eddie Nketiah leads the line.
that's a
Okay.
pretty
That's
easy.
nice.
See, I told you we'd start with Rice.
Nelson, Trossard,
that's
Eddie, yeah?
interesting.
Nelson, Trossard,
Yeah,
Eddie.
that's the best. attacking
Jorginho.
three.
Nelson Trossard.
Jorginho,
I like
Havertz,
that.
Vieira.
What's the
Okay.
bench?
The bench, Hein, Cedric, Tomiyasu, Saliba, Rice, El Neni, Saka, Erdegaard, Martinelli.
Right, so he's got reinforcements on the bench.
So
Yeah,
no
it does, yeah.
Smith Rowe on the bench.
Oh, that must be.
A lot of
Is that
people
another
wanted
injury?
him.
I was saying.
I say you wanted him in.
Yeah, exactly. I did actually.
So I wanted Smith Rowe to start. actually.
Yeah, I thought he would have started. There must be something.
That's mad.
man.
Havertz is in the midfield again.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
You're not feeling that team.
No, that's a weird one on
Oh,
Smith Rowe.
It's
Where
gotta
is
be,
he?
it's got to
Probably
be.
injury.
It's got to be
Yeah.
It has to be injury, which
injury or maybe a niggle.
is probably worse than it being a tactical decision. If I'm honest.
Sometimes with these things, it's like
Might
a
as well
little
add Emil
niggle.
Smith Rowe to Jesus and Party conversation.
Do you think maybe he just responded badly to, I mean, what did he play, 70 minutes on the weekend? Something like that? Do you think maybe
Yeah,
he just...
could be a niggle where the manager just says, you know what, just
Fine.
we don't want nothing. Maybe it was a Premier League game he might have been in. I don't know, but
It's
a bit
interesting.
worrying if he is, isn't
It tells me one thing, which is Tomiyasu starting in Newcastle.
Yeah.
That's what I take from
I
it.
told you, man. Like to me,
That's true.
Tomiyasu, Newcastle away is not a Zinchenko type game.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sheffield United at home, Zinchenko all day
I
long.
agree.
Right, they ain't gonna come and attack, flood the midfield. Newcastle away, Tomiyasu, you want that solid at the back.
Are you ready
So
for
I
the...
knew.
Who's captain for?
I didn't actually see. I'll have a look in a sec. The West Ham starting 11. Fabianski in goal. How old is he now? I remember his mistake at Porto. Do you remember that in the Champions League? Anyway, Fabianski, Soufal, Mavropanos, Aguerd, and Emerson is what I mean, looks like pretty much the first choice back four, Mavropanos, former Arsenal player. Alvarez and Souček with Kudus, Paqueta, Benrahma and Bowen up top.
Strong.
Told you.
That is
Strong.
Listen, man.
Ward-Prowse injured or something?
The oracle.
Yeah, who's on the bench?
The oracle of football. I told you, because they're playing at home and they're feeling to themselves. David Moyes looking at it and thinking, like, a bit like what you said, Lucy, right? Chance of a trophy. Arsenal going to come. They are going to be a little weaker because they got Newcastle at the weekend. We'll go strong, man, and try and take it to them. I knew they'd go with that. But, but still got an Arsenal team out there that I feel is capable of getting a result.
Well, here's their bench. Areola, Cresswell, Ward-Prowse, Fornells, Antonio Cornet, Ings, Ogbonna and Kerrer as well. So
They've got a decent squad, haven't
Yeah,
they?
exactly.
They do, man.
I want to see Rice against Ward-Prowse.
They have rested. They have rested.
Second half, last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I could say they have
that
rested
scrap, I don't
Ward-Prowse. They
know.
have rested
Antonio probably starts normally.
Antonio and Ward-Prowse they've rested, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
apart from that,
So what do we...
is that Agbonno you said's on the bench?
Ogbonna's on the bench, yeah.
He'd normally start over.
Probably not over again.
Mavropanos, wouldn't
Would he? Yeah, or Zuma. Zuma would normally start.
he? Zuma, is he on the bench?
yeah.
I actually can't remember if I said he was on the bench or not.
You just
I
keep
don't think
flicking.
you
I just
did say he
keep
was on
flicking
the
between
bench.
11. Sorry. Every time you ask a question, I've moved on to the next graphic. Let's just dissect this Arsenal level a little bit. So Ramsdale comes in fine. White keeps his place, playing a lot of football, Ben White. Otherwise, that's basically our first choice back four with Gabriel and Zinchenko in there. It's actually the back four that started at Newcastle last year, towards the end of the season.
Kivio wouldn't be in it, but
No, but yeah, I mean, obviously Saliba and Fekir, but then otherwise, I mean, Zinchenko being a regular left back is quite normal for Arsenal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
it's decent back four.
What do you think of the midfield? Vieira, Jorginho, Havertz?
Doesn't sound good on paper.
No, it doesn't sound great, does it?
Doesn't sound like there's a lot of muscle in there.
Yeah.
No.
Right?
Not enough vim either.
Against Alvarez and Souček, I mean, we could get
This is
absolutely
this is the game, right? Where
Oh, no.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at this game now, right? And I'm looking at Kai Havertz, and I'm saying, show me something tonight.
Perfect.
I need to see. I keep saying it all the time, right?
This is the one.
And next week, this is the
Time
one.
is now.
No, I'm not saying time is now at all. I'm just saying that every week I keep saying I want to see more, because he's got a very good habit of not having a shit game.
Oh, I disagree.
Of course he does.
He's got a habit of having shit games. That's the habit he needs to get out of.
No, but I listen. You know, a lot of times I go to games and I watch him play, and I'm like, he hasn't had an awful game, but then he
The
hasn't
bar
done
is
nothing.
on the floor. That is.
He's just
simple,
so
isn't
he's just drifting through a game. He's just on the periphery of things. He ain't like you can come out and say Havertz was awful, man. He gave the ball away for this and that.
That's because he doesn't want the ball. That's even worse.
Yeah,
for
and
me.
I want to see more, man.
That's even worse.
You've come with a big price tag. You know, big reputation. Come on, man. I need to. These are the sort of games where
I want to play mind games. Havertz, I want to see less today. Even less. I don't see anything from him.
you might see that.
I want to see.
You're going to see a lot now.
No, I feel like I'm always saying I need more. Now,
I want to see less.
I want to see less. I don't want to see
Fucking
anything.
hell, he's
What
gonna
I
be
I
a
don't want to
ghost.
see
What I'm
anything.
concerned about with is Havertz always passes back, and that annoys me. Like, he's not progressive with
Yeah.
his play at all. But that's okay when you've got someone like Rice back there. I don't know if I trust the others in the midfield enough
What?
for
Yeah.
that to be safe to do that.
Oh,
So,
Jorginho's his mate, for goodness sake. So if he can't,
is he
There he
skipping
is.
they
today?
can't help each other.
Yeah,
then.
Jorginho's starting.
Every time you ask me that question, I've honestly gone on to something else. Let me.
One day you'll
Jorginho,
answer.
Vieira, and Havertz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let me see the
Jorginho's
captain.
I actually think Jorginho's done all right.
It's probably Nketiah, you know. Oh,
It's done okay.
they don't say.
They don't
Oh
even-
no.
Oh?
Yeah, Jorginho.
Oh, it is Jorginho, yeah.
Jorginho's
Jorginho's
I
what?
can't afford
Captain.
to be captain. He was for the Brentford game.
What is Turkish? Who would you have gone
Look
with,
at him.
Turkish?
going on today?
I mean, it doesn't matter anymore, man. The captaincy does not matter anymore.
No, but usually.
Wait, let's do a look-alike. Am I seeing some
Nah, you're
resemblance
not.
there?
You're not.
Turkish.
But I mean, like, if Jorginho
Minus the
if
big
Jorginho can get it, yeah, why couldn't Rice get it on the weekend? If Jorginho coming in from Chelsea, our ops can get it 7 months, 8 months, 9 months into being at the club, where he's not a regular starter. Why couldn't Rice get it on the weekend, who many of us envisioned to somewhat play? But you know what, like I said, captaincy doesn't matter. I'm not moaning, forget it. It doesn't
He's
matter.
a very experienced player, though, isn't he?
Eddie Nketiah, Theo Walcott, just give it to whoever, anytime.
Leadership group, man.
Nice reminder of the 11. As we round off, we'll be back 15 minutes before kick-off, of course, for the watch-along. Ramsdale's in goal with White, Kegel, Gabriel and Zinchenko. Havertz starts midfield with Jorginho and Vieira. It's going to be very interesting to see which sides Vieira and Havertz play in this game. I think it'll probably be Vieira on that left side position. Nelson, Trossard and Nketiah keeps his place and leads the line. And really, it's got a lot of us thinking about what this means for Newcastle on the weekend. Tomiyasu on the bench, of course, Ødegaard. Back-to-back games on the bench now. Didn't even come on the other day, so I kind of thought maybe he'd give him some minutes. I think he'll probably go on the pitch at some point. Cedric there and Will Rice as well make his first return to what's called the London Stadium, and he said Upton Park. Was it ever called the Olympic Stadium during the Olympics? Was it ever called?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was called the Olympic, and then after the Olympics, they changed it to the London Stadium.
When West Ham moved in.
West Ham moved in, they changed it to London Stadium. It's the Olympic Stadium.
Why not just keep it as a cool name? No, Olympic Stadium.
They're probably
fair
What's
enough.
Olympics got to do with West Ham?
Don't know.
The running track.
All right, let's get some score predictions then. In now that we've seen the 11s, Robbie, what are you going for?
It's a bit sticky now, isn't it?
Yeah, 11.
Listen, we're unbeaten in this competition. Only played one game. Listen, we went away to Brentford, and that's a tough place to go, yeah? And I remember they put us under severe pressure, long throws, this, that, and we got a win there. 2-1, Arsenal.
Do you know, there's a lot of 2-1s
I was
going
about
around.
to say, yeah, that's what you were saying.
Ideally, I did want to see a clean sheet, especially now that Ramsdale gets a start. But I reckon it's going to be, a battle against West Ham. So I'm going 2-1 Arsenal.
I said 1-1 on Forever Arsenal, that we'd go through on pens. I want to stick with that, Lucy.
I don't want to copy, but I literally had the mindset of...
We discussed it before, so it's fine, I know.
Ramsdale wins us a
They're going
penalty
strong,
shooter.
so- Yeah, you just...
Won us the
to be fair. That'd be
Community
quite cool.
Shield penalty
True,
shootout.
that's true.
Yeah.
And the Emirates Cup, of course, after the 1-1 draw was in Monaco. Who did we play? Yeah.
Did he make any saves in it though, or was it just they went wide?
So hit the mark. I think he did say one or two, to be fair to him. Yeah, go on, I'm backing him. What about you, Tony?
I went 1-1 as well, so I'm gonna stick with that. But
I think we're going to lose, don't you?
yeah, I think West Ham 2-1 if I'm honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Listen, I think they've got
Always
League
positive,
11 out there. I'm glad we've got a good back four.
Positive,
Optimism.
the positive outlook.
You lot-
Good vibes only.
You lot all look at me.
Can I just say
You know exactly what I'm gonna say, and when I say you act surprised, please. You know me by now.
I didn't think you was going to say that, I'll be completely honest.
We're years in now. We're years in. What,
Positive outlook,
you think me seeing Jorginho Havertz in the midfield, I'm gonna predict him? Oh
Make
my
a good point,
god.
to be fair.
Super chat from Alex came in a bit earlier. Says, let's not waste good players today, as Sunday's a must-win for us. More than I think this is. It is, of course, Saturday. But yes, I take your point on board. I don't know how to feel about this. We've got a poll running, 800 votes. What's everyone saying? Arsenal to win. 81% of people think so. Fair enough. Everyone's feeling it in the comments. Look, we'll be back, like we said, in about 15 minutes before kick-off. The watch-along will start. Going to sit on this 11 news. Going to just have a good think about what Arteta's trying in there. West Ham have gone really strong. Let's see. But anyway, like I said, we'll be back reacting to every kick of the ball. And of course, download FANZONE. Actually, download the AFTV Plus app, and you'll get FANZONE. Completely free to do. You can have your say on the full-time show a little bit later. And of course, any other comments, any other thoughts, get in the comment section. We want to interact with you guys as much as possible throughout the game. All right, the big Carabao Cup 4th round game. West Ham away kicks off. It's actually the first game to kick off. A few 7:45s, and I think United versus Newcastle is at 8:15. So we'll keep an eye on all the results as they come through. Big thanks to everyone. We'll see you in a bit.